And welcome to the corner. I'm the Frosted Glass, and I'm joined by my fellow Alabaster Savages, Jack Gunsky.
I'm so tired and drunk. Let me go. It's been a year.
I told you, if you can chew through the chains, you're free to go. Moonshock?
Them chains, bring them on. Tie me in a basement and slap me on my ass.
Yeah.
All right, what did I agree to?
All right, Moon is just free to go. All right. Terry Diamantis?
Quit your whining, Jack.
And this week's special guest.
They feed me nothing but cicadas down here.
Ew.
They're the best cicadas on the market. And this week's special guest, Hate Camel.
Hey, how are you?
He's just a regular savage, not the Alabaster kind.
Now we got to call up all our Indian friends and ask if they're okay.
Well, I mean, Johnny's in chat. He's got his glasses on, but, he's right there.
But with our first article, we're going to look at something that I know you guys all like, and that's witchy woo-woo.
Yay!
Western astrology is cultural appropriation. And I'm not a fan.
Is this that same stupid fucking bitch that came up with that witchy woo-woo article before?
I don't know.
I don't think so.
Isvari. I'm guessing the other kind of Indian.
You know, the woman right there that has that third eye, right? That makes me wish I had a third fucking arm so I can punch her right in that goddamn third eye.
Forget the third arm. You should focus on getting a second nipple.
I have an idea. How about this bitch kills the astrologers, and astrologers kill this bitch, and two problems dealt with at once.
I don't like astrology. There, I said it. You can accuse me of being intolerant or ignorant, but you'd be wrong. Unlike most Americans, I actually grew up immersed in the culture. And I'm a woman, a strong feminist, and a frequent writer on gender politics. So don't say I'm sexist.
Well,
That actually guarantees she's sexist.
Yes, it's like saying that you ticked off all the boxes. I would say that you definitely fall within that category.
Yeah, he's not helping her case.
No.
But what I am is Hindu. And if I see one more question on if hating astrology is anti-women, I'm going to punch something.
Wait. Okay, so I'm a woman, a strong feminist, and a freak around. So don't say, but I am. What I am is Hindu. Why didn't she just include that in that little group of declarations above? Because what she's saying right there is way grammatically incorrect, and she sounds like a freaking moron by saying it that way.
Just to clarify, she's a Hindu, not a Dindu, so don't bring up crime stats.
No, see, that guy's also on Minds.
I have a question. Who the fuck says that hating astrology is anti-woman? Who's saying this?
Women who like astrology.
Women are the ones who usually believe in that bullshit. So if you hate astrology, you hate women.
So basically, being stupid is a trait for women, in other words.
You only need to watch Monkey in the Morning. Jack Cochran is right here, but tiny girl brains.
But if she does try to punch you, just dress as a cow. She's Hindu. She can't do anything.
If being stupid is the trait that this woman is against, then by all rights, don't be stupid. Don't accuse other. Don't let women be stupid. I think is the key takeaway here.
Don't be stupid.
Don't let
be a
women
smarty.
Be stupid.
Yeah.
To me, that argument is simply the latest fad of rich white feminism, of people who are so privileged that they don't realize claiming to be a minority is just another example of it. Men aren't hating on astrology because it's a female thing. White men are hating on white women who are into Eastern things because they're racist.
All right, first of all, you're a woman, so you are not. Never mind.
That
honestly,
proves I was right. That proves I was right. The reason that it's sexist to hate astrology is because it's a woman thing.
Well, my point is, like, she says that she's a minority. No, you're not. Women are the majority in this world. There are more women than there are men.
I don't
So
hate it
claiming that
because
you're part of a minority, you're a fucking liar.
I don't
So
hate it
wait,
because
wait.
it's. I don't hate it because
White-
it's a woman thing or because it's an Eastern thing. I hate it because it's a stupid thing.
Wait, so this author is saying that
Just like a
white men
Pisces.
that white men hating white women with Eastern things is racist. However, this author hating white women with Eastern things is not racist.
Correct.
No, she's brown.
Why?
She's brown. It's okay.
Because she's brown. That's right. Brown people can't be racist.
That's
And
right.
for the record, I'm a Gemini, Terry.
Oh, I just picked a random star.
I'm the Pisces. Actually.
Oh, okay.
So am I. I am as well.
And the women who are into it are often racist too. Fighting words, I'm
Nice.
sure, but hear me out.
Everybody is racist but me.
What does
Just-
being a Hindu have to do with astrology anyway?
How,
Because she said she was like she grew up in the culture.
how
I don't
about
know.
this? Stick your hand all the way up your vagina because you obviously need to rub one out. Rub one out. Get all of this racist bullshit nonsense out of your system, and then join the rest of the world because the rest of the world needs pseudo intellectuals in order to give critiques on books,
But then she wouldn't stand out anymore, Jack.
on books they presumably didn't read.
Fine.
Just look at the title photo. It's one of Unsplash's top suggestions for astrology. I could be wrong, but it looks like 3 white women wearing cornrows and locks, random butterflies, flowers, and weird bindies. Dear Lord, third eyes aren't literal, sheesh. On top of that, it looks like they're wearing kurtas. I have no problem with white people wearing kurtas. In fact, I wish more of them did.
So what
Kurtas
are you
are great.
complaining about?
Kurtas are great office wear, party wear, and midnight gas station run wear. But when the only white people wearing them are wearing them in a mystic or religious context, then that's offensive.
How? Fuck you.
Let's see. Do you think 1.2 billion Hindus are sitting around meditating all day and waiting for the stars to align?
You want to know what?
Surprise.
Yes. Yes, they fucking are.
Surprise, but we do lead normal lives too.
Well, no, they're not going to be sitting around meditating all day. They got to shit in the street sometime.
Yeah,
Fair
exactly.
point.
Oh, and happy birthday to Faithless in chat, it looks like.
Yes,
Yes.
yesterday.
Happy birthday, Faithless.
No, we're not going to sing to you.
Good.
Yet, the internet is teeming with op-eds on hating astrology being sexist, while there's barely anything about the blatant cultural appropriation.
Oh
Why?
my god.
Is it because, as always, a white woman's feelings are much more important than brown people?
You know what? Yes. Fuck you. Yes. Yes, it is.
You think that brown people's opinions are more important than white people's? So what? Why is there any part of any of these people who are capable of being the least bit consistent on anything? They can't be consistent. They can't be consistent and say this one thing applies to everyone the exact same way. No, everything has to be leveled based upon their bullshit perceptions. And those perceptions are always going to be in conflict with each other, thus perpetuating infinitely the need for their bullshit ideology. And it's just going to make the rest of us suffer. They're just going to make the rest of us suffer because they can't possibly be consistent. They're always going to have their personal agendas, and it's obviously going to cut in their favor always. They're just selfish pricks. Sorry.
And you know that they're no, it's fine. You know that these people are really reaching when they have to. It's like they picked a random fucking car. Like, what do we want to bitch about today? Oh, astrology. Oh, Indian people. Okay, cool. Let's make an article about that. No, nobody cares about whether or not you're using astrology. Nobody cares about what fucking clothes you're wearing. If you have nothing better to do than to look around and say, "Oh, these people are looking at astrology and wearing Indian clothes," just shut up and go somewhere else. Nobody's saying that you have to like it. No one's saying that you have to hate it. Just shut the hell up. Go on your merry way and go piss somebody else off, because you're really not doing a good job of it here. You just want us to just pop your goddamn head like a zit and just say, "Oh, look what he comes out. Oh, look, you're appropriating me." No, I'm done. Just done. I'm done. Thank you for picking this fucking nosebleed of an article. I really do appreciate it.
We're not even
Really
through
glad
the
I
first
smoked that
article.
joint before I got on the stream. Now,
Can we commit genocide against frosted glass?
No.
No.
I am the genocider, not the genocidee.
Besides, I like these articles. If you kill Frosted, where am I going to find them?
Exactly.
On Medium.
This is fucking brain cancer on paper.
But I don't want to pay Medium $5 a month. I'm happy for Frosted to do that so I can enjoy the articles for free.
Oh God, it's. I don't get headaches very often, but this shit makes my head.
They actually put this behind a paywall.
Yeah, believe it or not.
Medium, you can read 3 articles for free, and the rest cost money. I think it's $5 a month.
Yeah.
Holy shit!
Mm-hmm. Yeah, people actually pay to read this shit. You believe that?
I believe it's 2 free articles, but you get a 3rd one if you make an account, and if you want more than that, you have to start paying.
It's worth it. Well, several.
Hold up. I have actually had real Indian friends. I'm talking dot, not feather. And none of them ever complained about any of this bullshit. They were actually authentic Indians that lived in India that communicated with me a lot. And they were nothing like this. They were always curious about American culture. Not a single fucking time did they bitch about anything that we do. This thing.
So what you're saying is they had internalized white supremacy. Okay.
Yes, absolutely.
Oh yeah, you want to know something that's extra fun about India is that it's actually considered attractive to have as light skin as possible.
Oh,
so
absolutely.
That, especially in the northern part of the country, women will try to avoid the sun as best as possible so as not to darken their skin.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're really only avoiding sun because she's married to Moon and he's the one they're trying to get away from.
Oh, shut you.
The biggest problem facing India right now is people using astrology.
Yep.
Other than that, India is perfectly fine.
Yep.
Yeah. Just lady, get the fuck out of your own ass. You've crawled up so far. You're like an Ouroboros of just absolute foot and mouth disease.
She's got her mouth firmly planted on that ass cheek and is like, I'm not letting go.
While several other cultures have astrological components, it is Hindu mythology specifically that has been the driving force in the West. Yes, there is astrology in Western culture as well. It dates back to Greece. But modern astrology isn't about that. Greek astrology died out a long time ago and was heavily criticized by Christians.
I was genocided. My beliefs and my history has been genocided by this dismissal of Greek astrology.
Mm-hmm.
That's
really?
right.
Because I'm pretty sure, like, with the astrology that they put in like the newspaper and shit, it has nothing to do with Hinduism.
It has nothing to do with anything. It's just making up bullshit because people like reading it.
Wasn't the swastika a symbol of Hinduism?
Yes.
Yeah, it was.
I'm surprised that they're not complaining that the fucking Nazis culturally appropriated the swastika. That's one thing that you never really hear anymore, or at all, actually. Like those goddamn Nazis, they stole our symbol.
It's because the people who complain about this stuff need that Nazi symbol in order to project all their insecurities onto everyone else.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and don't forget Donald Trump is a Nazi too. I'm just saying.
No. But I think you're looking at it. You're looking at it backwards. It's not that the Nazis appropriated the Indian symbol. The Indians were secret Nazis all along.
That's right. That's why Indiana
Everyone
Jones went
was
there.
Nazi. Jesus Christ was a Nazi.
Everyone's a Nazi. Everyone's a socialist, and you have to call it all out.
Everybody was Blitzkrieg fighting.
I'd watch a movie about Nazi Jesus.
Oh.
Astrology today comes with Indian art, yoga, meditation, reincarnation, Ayurveda, Sanskrit tattoos, and homeopathy. There are no city-based gods, Greek culture, or Hellenistic art. Whenever Western astrology falls short, for example, many people realize everyone born on the same day does not share the same characteristics, astrologers fall back on more complex Vedic traditions. They don't spend any time learning about it. They just use it to sound mystic and cool and more believable. But the way...
Does anyone... Why not just criticize bullshit for being bullshit?
Because
Homeopathy.
because then they have to criticize critical race theory.
Do you guys know what homeopathy is?
Yes.
Homeopathy?
Yeah. Basically what it is you take a little, if you have an ailment, say you were poisoned by arsenic, you take a little bit of arsenic, then shake it in a bottle full of water, then take a little bit of that water, shake it in another bottle full of water, and take a little bit of that water. Do the same process over and over again, like 30 times, and then you would drink that water to cure yourself. That's homeopathy.
Yeah, that's
like
how it works.
Cherokee
Okay,
hair
I saw
tampon
that in
kind
The
of thing.
Princess Bride, and I don't think it worked out that well for him either.
Yeah, it's total and utter nonsense. You could just call this shit not what it is. It's nonsense, and call it a day, and nobody would argue with you. But instead,
No.
you have to
But
inject this.
What you're missing is if they criticize bullshit for being bullshit, there goes critical race theory. They can't afford to let that happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, this isn't the bullshit white man's astrology. This is Indian astrology, which is real. White women frequently say that astrology is their cute and cultural thing, something that makes others prejudiced or sexist when they rail against it. They reject all attempts by people like me, also a woman, to criticize it. It's harmless after all, but astrology is not harmless in India, a country with 1.4 billion people that needs to stop being erased by America, a country with 300 million.
Astrology is harmful in India. I've got to hear this.
Astrology is pseudoscience. Astrologers do not publish in the scientific community, do not peer-review papers, do not fundamentally rely on evidence or rigorous experimentation, and do not use testable ideas. Ample research has shown that astrology does not make accurate predictions or replicate. For example, people are as likely to say a prediction for another star sign is as accurate as one for themselves. OkCupid's incredible data blog has disproved any evidence in romantic compatibility based on star signs. Yet white women say it's sexist to point out these flaws. To them, their views aren't harming anyone, so who cares? In the Indian
the biggest complaint that this person has is that white women are sexist for being idiots.
No, they're racist.
Or they're racist for being idiots.
What I like about that paragraph is, like, if you go to like the first half of it, you know, like where it stop where it says replicate. That's all the reasons why I hate astrology, right there. It has nothing to do with Hinduism or white, brown. It's just dumb. Let's just leave it at that.
So you just admitted to being racist. Thanks, Camel.
Well, I mean,
it's just dumb. Just call it dumb. Stop with the race shit. Stop injecting race politics into every single facet of life. And I know that this is their hustle. But Jesus Christ, just can you live a life? Can you get a life? Get a fucking life.
Well, they do believe in reincarnation.
And you know what? I hope they're right. I hope that this author gets reincarnated as a white dude that ends up marrying a dumb white bitch that is into astrology.
I was just gonna go with dung beetle, but yours works too.
In the Indian community, we all do. Whether or not astrology should be allowed to be taught in schools has made it to the Indian Supreme Court several times. The Hindu right wing in India is like the Christian right wing in the US. Indian astrologers have made many, many claims that have been debunked by skeptics. Some have caused real damage to people when they were wrong. In a hyper-religious country, that they just did. In a hyper-religious country, if people are going to call off marriages, abuse women and Muslims, and make decisions on evacuating major cities based on astrology, this can cause pain, hurt, and even death.
Well, how about you just don't do that then?
It'll be racist? I don't know.
I guess.
That's a great that's a great contrast, isn't it? In Western society, astrology means absolutely fuck all. One star sign can be confused for another star sign, yada yada yada. But in India, it causes real world harm. So who's doing it right and who's doing it wrong?
Fair point.
The white man's doing it wrong because he's a white man.
Jack is correct.
So it's convenient Western liberals want to ignore arguments on the merits of astrology when they don't have to deal with serious consequences of it. How would you feel if I said you couldn't argue about the Bible's impact on gay marriage or female virginity?
Not a fucking
say whatever
thing.
you
You want to know
want.
why? Because I don't care.
Yeah, you can say whatever the fuck you want.
Exactly. So I have no problem with any of that shit. So any of that shit. So how would you feel if I said you couldn't? I wouldn't care. You know what I would say? Fine. I don't care.
To say astrology is harmless is to erase the Indian experience of it and pretend that Western astrology is all that exists. Basically, it's racist.
Fuck you.
I am not even going to waste the energy in my forearm of making an exaggerated jerk-off motion.
How about just a
Well, your
regular
camera's
jerk-off motion?
Your camera's not on, so we couldn't see it anyway.
Fair point.
All right, I'll just do this last part. Finally,
you.
astrology is not a woman's thing at all. At least
It's a
it
dumb
isn't.
woman's thing.
At least it isn't a woman's thing if you stop thinking everyone in the world is an American white. Straight men don't hate astrology. Hannah, Kayla, Leah, and Jessica. Okay?
What?
Straight white men do.
Where do you get this assertion anyway? Women like astrology. Men hate astrology. White people have this obsession with astrology.
I want to know who Hannah, Kayla, Leah, and Jessica are.
Yeah, me too. And I wonder why their names are underlined. Is that a hyperlink? Did they tag somebody's Twitter account or Facebook? Like, what's going on here?
Those are links. If Frosted clicks on them, they'll go to another site. I don't know if it's Twitter or just their like blog page on Medium or what.
I'm gonna laugh if this is like calling out her friends on like Facebook or something.
Well, the first article is called "Why Straight
Men
Men Hate Astrology So Much."
It's
Okay,
the
so it's a
authors
Vice
of the
article.
pieces.
Yeah.
Hannah Ewens.
Yep.
Yeah, maybe think of a better way to insert these into your article, but whatever.
Why is it that they make these baseless assertions? It doesn't even sound like something that people say, like, "Oh, I'm a white man, I hate astrology."
No,
it doesn't even sound like a thing.
But the thing that just caught my eye: straight men don't hate astrology, and then lists 4 women. Like, how is that disproving your point?
Straight men
I tell you
such
what,
as Hannah, Kayla.
Pick the starting 5 of any NBA team, ask them what they think of astrology, and tell me that they're all in agreement. I dare you. I dare you.
In
they'll say
India,
some shit like, "Well, let's see, the moon is in the sun's first crescent, and you're not gonna find that. That's just fucking stupid."
They're gonna tell you they don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Get away from me.
Exactly.
In India, astrology is believed strongly by both men and women, possibly even more strongly by men. Both my mom and my dad were insistent I got married on the right day at the right time, even though they can't agree on if God exists. So the idea that white culture first appropriated astrology and turned it into another white gender war is irritating. Men do respect astrology, and when you say they don't, you are erasing the minority men who helped create it. You are erasing the minority women who have fought its ties to conservatism. You are erasing over 1 freaking billion people.
If only it was that easy to erase them all.
Hey, Moon. Do you know
Yes,
what
sir.
I think about us? Do you know what I think about astrology?
Do tell.
I don't.
But I think I need to give credit to one Dr. Keeve in the audience who points out Jerk Gunsky is an appropriate title for him.
Well, yeah, he is being racist by not liking astrology.
Exactly.
Okay, now that picture there, did this fucking idiot say that that's 3 white women?
Yes.
I see 1 white woman. The other 2 look like they're rather ethnic.
And is it
Well,
just
that's
me?
racist.
Is it just me, or is it kind of disturbing that it looks like they have bruises around their necks?
Yes, it
Okay.
does.
It looks like someone just
I
tried to
see-
choke them.
I see a white lady. I see a vaguely ethnic looking lady at the top, and I'm pretty sure that one at the bottom is a dude. Look at that jawline.
Very
That's a white
Yeah,
guy.
is that
I-
an Adam's apple?
I actually thought that was Lily Singh at the bottom.
Terry
That
Wick.
dude's got a jaw that can cut
Congratulations.
glass.
Yeah.
That's a man.
And see, look, the one on
That
the
looking like
bottom,
a man.
and the one on the bottom is holding a Cherokee hair tampon.
Yeah.
All right. Well, with the end of the first article comes the first game, and that game is called Sad Libs.
Anything to get over this stupid fucking bitch's article. Oh my god.
This is where I take 4 headlines from Medium articles, take out 1 word, and you guys fill them in Mad Lib style, and then the chat votes on which one is best. So, Jack, you have adjective.
Chunky.
All right. Moonshock, you have an object.
Cherokee hair tampon.
Terry, you have a living thing.
I guess I'll go. I guess I'll go with the standard nigger.
Wow.
But right now it just says Terry Diamantis, nigger.
Terry Diamantis. Nigger.
And Camel, you have
This-
adjective.
Oh, slowly. Or no, that's a adverb.
That's an
Sorry.
adverb.
Slow
adjective.
would be adjective.
Slow. There we go. Yeah,
This
because
summer,
that's what I'm pretty sure every medium writer is.
Terry
Mhm.
Diamantis is nigger.
Or in the Dr. Tran voice, he's a real nigger.
All right. So Jax is. Even Stacey Abrams has to answer. Why are you still chunky?
That works too well.
Yes,
It's a fair question.
Oh god.
All
I
right.
knew it. I knew it.
And Moonshocks. This cross between a Cherokee hair tampon and a cock ring could be the future of male contraception.
I'm not even Cherokee, and that gets a single tear from me.
And now Terry's. The benefits of being a fat, ugly nigger.
Oh, God. Holy shit!
Well,
Wow.
Terry's definitely. Wow.
wow.
That one's gonna win this week's, last week's, and next week's Sad Libs.
Congratulations. Congratulations on winning, Terry.
And, and Camel, how do you tell your wife she's too slow?
Oh, wow.
All right, and I'll start the poll for the chat. Instructions on how to vote are up on the screen.
I'm gonna vote for Terry, so now I'm not allowed to vote, but I'm still gonna vote for Terry.
I mean,
Congratulations.
if I were to answer my own question, I would just say with a street sign.
Yes.
Even if you miraculously don't win the vote, in my book, you still won.
That was just too good.
Oh my god.
I thought Jack was going to have it 2 weeks in a row, just from the jump, and then
No, Terry beat me.
yeah.
I assume Terry's article is about what's her face, the mayor of Chicago.
Oh, Larry Lightfoot.
Yeah.
It's like this summer, Terry DeMantis, the benefits of being a fat, ugly nigger.
Terry DeMantis is a fat, ugly nigger.
Hey, I'm only two of those things.
Rob
Directed by Spike
Schneider
Lee.
this summer.
Wow, nobody. Oh, looks like you got one vote to hate Camel.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you,
But
K-Shell.
The winner with 7 votes is Terry.
Thank you.
Wow, that should be framed somewhere.
The only problem is you probably can't share it on Twitter.
No.
Yeah, probably not. Probably
Unfortunately,
not.
Yeah, watch
could do a
today.
screen cap, but you'd probably get your account banned.
Yeah.
Well, Frost is going to come into an email tomorrow. It's like, yeah, your channel's been deleted.
Well, the original headline was "The Benefits of Being a Fat, Ugly Lesbian."
Ah,
See, I figured it was something along those lines.
All right. And now onto the second article. A strike against President Biden. If a
Oh
year
my
of-
god.
If a year of the COVID-19 pandemic taught us anything, it's that we can't trust Americans.
What?
And
When
where
Demo-
exactly are you from, Erica?
Iowa Joe. No, it was Iowa 4 Joe, but like Iowa Joe?
When Democrats announced former Vice President Joe Biden as the party presidential nominee in August 2020, I thought, I have 90 days to convince myself why I like Biden. Yeah, that seems like a healthy way to think about it.
Mhm.
I didn't
Sounds like a really bad TLC show.
I didn't necessarily dislike him, but he wasn't my first choice. A historic 28 Democratic candidates tossed their name into the hat. 11 withdrew before making it to the primary ballot, 7 withdrew before the Iowa caucus, but remained on the primary ballot, and 10 withdrew during the primaries.
And didn't one of those 11 become his vice president?
Yeah, I mean, when
Well,
you also
after-
have 90 days to convince yourself why you like that person, seeing as how
Well,
Joe-
I guess it was a debate.
Yeah, after calling him racist, she became his vice president.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
To form my own unbiased and educated opinion, I turned off
You
the
already
news.
failed.
I turned
You
off the
already
news-
started. I have to convince myself I like Joe Biden. There's absolutely nothing remotely unbiased and educated about anything you do after that.
Oh god.
I really want to be to form my own opinion. I consulted my horoscope. I turned off the news and researched, sending myself spiraling down the rabbit hole of Sleepy Joe and soon-to-be First Lady Dr. Biden. By Election Day, it felt good to vote for a candidate I want in office and not based on the lesser of two evils like I was forced to do in 2016.
Oh,
Sorry, guys, I'm all for a female president, but not Clinton.
Well, then at
That's
least you made
sexist.
one right decision.
I'm pretty sure that's
So-
sexist. I think she needs to be cancelled.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, isn't this pretty much doing the same thing you did in 2016, voting for the lesser of two evils because Biden wasn't your guy either?
And she had to
Yeah.
talk herself into liking him. I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah, you already convinced yourself I am not voting for this man because I hate him more than anything in the world. By that logic alone, you are voting for the lesser of two evils.
Yeah, this is the equivalent of like dating a guy you think is ugly, but you're like, well, after a few beers, I'm sure he'll start to look good, you know.
Oh, I'm reading ahead on this article. I can already tell I'm going to be very, very fucking pissed off. So
Oh, I'm sure you
well,
will.
that's what you get
Leading-
for cheating.
Leading up to Inauguration Day, I felt proud. Biden and Vice President-elect Harris stepped up as the leaders we needed, while Trump incited an insurrection against our elected officials that cost the lives of 5 people, and by 5 she means 1. An event that traumatized the world.
yeah, but it
Oh yeah,
wasn't.
I'm thoroughly traumatized by it.
And it was not a fucking insurrection. You need to shut the hell up.
Well,
no,
well,
but
that-
like
And it wasn't
I'm in
incited by
Australia.
Trump.
That last sentence. That last sentence makes me wonder. It's like, how do those 1.2 billion Hindus in India feel about January 6th? How traumatized were they?
Yeah,
And-
did their astrology predict the?
Oh yes, and
election?
January.
Did they manage to
6th was a
evacuate
false
in
flag.
time? Right, Moon.
Yeah, yeah.
Most of the people who were there probably weren't traumatized.
Yeah.
Moderate
There-
feels
There was the one girl who was killed by the cops that let the protesters into the building. That
If she's not traumatized either.
Yeah, and
The
officially,
guy behind her might have been, but
and didn't Trump? And this has been documented well. Didn't he actually say, "Go home and be peaceful and don't do this kind of shit"? That to me does not ring of somebody who's saying, "Yeah, go ahead and make an insurrection."
That's a rookie mistake. It was a dog whistle, and you didn't hear it.
and
also you're
also
forgetting one key thing about January 6th, Moon. You know what that is?
What,
It
that
was
a bunch of-
opposite day.
Yes, it was.
So everything he said was meant to be taken in the opposite direction, which means he wholeheartedly endorsed everything that happened.
Was there a big asterisk at the end of his speech that said "See below" and it says,
no.
"Psst, where we gotta do opposite"?
Every
Yeah,
time
it was
you
right
see,
after the wink and the nod.
Let's briefly recap what happened on January 6th. A bunch
No.
of
We can't
Antifa-
breathe. We can't breathe.
We can't breathe.
wah, wah.
A bunch of Antifa got together on the
Mhm.
lawn, and then they broke into they were let into the White House by the police there because they're sympathetic to Antifa, and they riled up some and a cop shot some lady, and that lady's family is suing them, and basically it was as close to a nothing burger as a major riot can get.
Well, what I loved about the whole thing is that it was such a bad and evil insurrection that once everything was done, the Congress still was able to hold a little meeting until the early hours of the morning.
Oh yes, and it's also for some reason worse than 9/11. What possessed? There were a lot of people saying that it was worse than 9/11. What possesses someone to think that a stupid riot in a building that nobody gives a shit about because it's filled with people they hate is somehow worse than 3,000 people dying on one day?
Because it was brown people. It was brown people who did 9/11. So that was just some people doing something, whereas January 6th
Those are white
was
people.
white people, and that means
Yes.
it's worse.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
Magnified by a factor of like 100 or 1,000. So
It's okay when brown people do it, is the
I
message that I get
Exactly.
from these people.
I was just gonna say naked politics, but Terry's got a way better answer than
Moderate feels boring and stable. It feels welcomed after the previous administration. And mostly, I've agreed with his policies and plans. I'm pro saving the soul, families, and infrastructure of America. In fact, I'm excited about it.
What, you mean the previous administration that had the best job rating ever? You mean the one that actually had the best tax cuts ever? You mean the one that actually did what he could to weed out all the bullshit in this country? Yeah, because that's such a bad administration, huh?
Shut up,
Well,
Mooney's a
he was-
Nazi.
Also, he was mean on Twitter. Let's not understate that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Until the CDC announced on Thursday, May 13th, that fully COVID-19 vaccinated individuals can ditch the masks in some places and relax social distancing guidelines.
Seeing that neither of those things actually help the spread, who fucking cares?
When news first broke, I assumed they went rogue and were peddling Nazi-like propaganda to appease Cult 45 and QAnon groupies.
What the
Why
fuck
else
is Colt 45?
I don't know. This is
malt
the first
liquor,
time I heard
where I'm
of
from. I don't know what she's talking about, but
Is it-
that's a
Does
40
Billy
ounce
D,
in my
does Billy
neighborhood.
D. Williams advertise it? Why else would they want to prevent this pandemic from ending? I thought, are they fucking nuts? Are we supposed to know the difference between fully vaccinated or not? And isn't the purpose for wearing a mask to protect others? And since the
Okay.
vaccine...
I gotta say this. Cannibalistic Wizard just made the best fucking pun joke. Yeah, 9/11 sucked. Guy on the top floor ordered 2 meat lovers pizzas, but they sent 2 plain pizzas.
I just trim off that last pizzas, and there's no fat on that joke.
Yeah,
They sent 2 planes instead. Perfect.
that's what I was thinking too.
And since the vaccine doesn't prevent us from contracting coronavirus or transmitting it to unvaccinated people, isn't this a dangerous idea disguised as something to celebrate?
Or more to the point, isn't this proof that there's no point getting the vaccine? Like it doesn't prevent it.
Exactly.
Stop being an anti-vaxxer, Terry.
Oh, medical misinformation. My apologies.
Yeah. I thought, thank goodness, boring and stable, play it safe, sleepy Joe Biden is at the helm. He'll get it straightened out long before things turn disastrous.
Bullshit.
That's homophobic. Why has it got to be straightened out?
Except he won't. This is his idea, his incentive. It's
not.
It's utter insanity. Has he been hiding?
I'm sorry. I just like the fact that. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Not good.
I just like the fact that they think somebody named Sleepy Joe is gonna act in time to keep something from turning disastrous.
Thank God Sleepy Joe is at the wheel. Are they trying to like make this into their thing? Like Sleepy Joe is a good name now.
When I think of cat-like reflexes, I think of that one of the 7 dwarfs that wasn't dopey. The other one.
Now, does Biden, when he has his eyes are so squinty all the time, and all you can see are these black little pupils in the middle. Anybody ever get reminded of the Rancor from Return of the Jedi? When all you could see were these big black spheres.
I haven't watched that movie in 30 years. So
I just assumed that all the blood vessels were burst in his eyes, so that's why he was squinting.
It's because he's had enough facelift bullshit that he looks like a goblin.
Also, and if anybody actually thinks that it's that stupid motherfucker posting tweets on the President Biden's account, if you really think that's him doing it, then you are a complete fucking idiot.
Well, I think he looks more like the Joker than a goblin. Like that creepy smile he does.
Yes. Yes.
I still say when he smiles, the wrinkles on his forehead make him look like a Klingon.
He's got ridges.
I just expect him to be like, you ever dance with the devil in the pale moonlight?
Exactly.
It's utter insanity. Has he been hiding in a basement for the past year? Yes, he has. Did he not get the memo that we can't trust Trump-worshipping Americans?
First of all, worshipping is spelled with 2 P's, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's the kind of thing a Trump voter would say.
Well, remember,
or somebody who has Grammarly, one of the 2.
No, remember, correct spelling and grammar is white supremacy.
Oh yes, that's right. Of course.
True.
Me and my whiteness, I tell you.
Not to mention, the CDC's recommendations are conflicting. The CDC, fully vaccinated people no longer need to wear a mask or physically distance in any setting, except where required by federal, state, local, tribal, or territorial laws, rules, and regulations, including local business and workplace guidance.
Tribal? It's like, hey, 6 feet, hey, 6 feet.
No. They wanted to apply to Camel. That's reasonable.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I have nothing against Native Americans, trust me. But when they think tribal, I can see these Indian folks. They're dancing like 6 feet apart with masks on.
Well, I mean, to be fair, fool us once,
I think if you've got a problem with Native Americans, all you need to do is just drop garbage on the floor.
No, that only works on Italians, Terry.
I think we just need to put the vaccine in blankets.
I was going to say, we got some blankets we can sell you.
Did you not hear me when I said fool me once?
Also, the CDC, we're still learning how long COVID-19 vaccines protect people. People who have been fully vaccinated against COVID-19 should keep taking precautions until we know more, like wearing a mask indoor public places, avoiding large indoor gatherings, and washing your hands often. Vaccinated people do not need to wear masks outside except in crowds.
Okay, so that to me says, oh, wait, it's an experimental drug. That also says to me, oh, we're not sure if it's going to work, but you should do all this kind of stuff anyway. Make up your fucking mind, which is going to be. Well, we also have we have a doctor's office here in town, and half a dozen of the staff wear masks and they got vaccinated. And guess what? They all got sick after they were supposedly vaccinated. So it really does go to show you, does this stupid fucking vaccine actually do anything at all? Or is it just oh, look, it's a virtue signal. I got my stick. What's next for you?
No, of course it does something. How else do you think Bill Gates can control you?
Oh, God.
And turn
All
the
I have to
frogs
say
gay.
is, all I have to say is, as an Indian, I'm willing to roll the dice. I'm willing to, not get the vaccine.
Yeah, me too.
Oh,
I'm not an
it.
Indian, but I'm also willing to not get the vaccine.
I will
I get
never
it.
get it.
I-
Ever.
Indian
I just wanted to
casinos
make a
roll dice.
casino joke. Yes.
Yeah, I got it.
Which guidance will I choose to listen to? Do we get to pick? Because that sounds chaotic and confusing.
If you're smart and you make up your own decision and not listen to all the bullshit that's out there, then you'd be considered a smart person and you'd be making the right choice.
Never gonna happen.
I'm fully vaccinated, but it changes nothing. My
Then why did you
behavior-
get vaccinated?
Exactly.
My behavior will remain the same. I'll continue to social distance, wear a mask in public places, and avoid large gatherings.
Then that to me says you have no idea what the hell you're doing. You have no idea what the hell is going on. And you have a very big amount of doubt in anything that you possibly see out there. So fuck off.
I get where Biden is coming from. Adults should be capable of doing the things asked of us, but in Trump's America, it doesn't work that way. We have a president, and then we have an entire political party taking direction from the former guy. The guy who polarized a deadly virus. The guy who has a fan base that adds fuel to the fire with immature stuff like this. Then there's a
Tommy
tweet about
Lauren.
someone identifying as vaccinated.
No, that's actually a sarcastic tweet there.
Yeah, it's Tommy Lauren.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And by the way, his name was Donald Trump. Get it right.
Can't
It's
So
say
a-
45.
It's a generation of Harry Potter fans. Of course, they're going to treat him like Voldemort. What do you expect?
Who shall not be named.
We have the Proud Boys who plotted to abduct Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer.
No, they fucking didn't. Oh my God.
The Patriot Party who believes they're a militia, and the Oath Keepers who protect ringleaders. And let's not
They
forget
are militia.
Mhm.
They're militias. They're militias everywhere. That is what America is, a country made of the militia.
Yeah, and
That's
having a militia is perfectly legal.
And let's not forget Q's following, who believe in space laser beams, shape-shifting lizard people, alien DNA, and demon sperm.
Yeah, you're
That
just
makes
trying to
sense.
tie Q. You're trying
no,
to tie Q.
That
What?
makes
Sorry.
sense because Q is a Star Trek character.
They're trying to tie
a point.
Q to legitimate criticism.
Yes.
And you're full of shit. You're a liar. You know you're a liar, and you're just a dirtbag. That's all there is to it.
We all had a good laugh over QAnon back in 2017, but it's really not funny anymore. There are Americans who spend their days on social media spouting off that the virus is a hoax. It's nothing more than a part of the radical left's agenda to steal the election. Still 6 months later.
Well, the election
Good
is still
stuff.
stolen.
Yeah, absolutely. It was
Yeah.
stolen. Don't give me this bullshit about it all.
And it was never rectified in any capacity. And that was really your biggest mistake, because now people are codified in their beliefs that the election was stolen because you fought so hard to keep people from verifying anything that now people believe that you did that on purpose.
Of course
It's
they did.
really quite simple. And the fact that you are ignoring that means to me that you are ignoring it deliberately, out of convenience, because you're a liar and a dirtbag.
Well, this whole, and it also seemed too convenient. This whole pandemic, that they brought in all these lockdowns, all this bullshit that just happened to require people to, oh hey look, or all these people are given the option now to do absentee votes. And what won Biden the election? Absentee votes.
I'm surprised my chat went through. I don't think I didn't think pandemic would be allowed to be said on YouTube.
Well, the thing that gets me about the virus being a hoax that they're trying to make an argument about, it's like COVID, SARS-CoV-1, the original SARS outbreak was back, what, 2008, 2009?
Mm-hmm.
Where did that originate from again? Western China. So
that sounds like hate speech.
SARS-CoV-2, first they said it was a bat in a wet market in Wuhan. Then it comes out that there's a biological research lab in Wuhan. And just more and more stuff coming out about the possibility of a lab leak. And then Rand Paul talking to Fauci about U.S. funding for gain of function and so on. So yeah, I mean, just maybe nurture the possibility that this happened intentionally.
The corner does not endorse the views of One Hate Camel.
The hate camel doesn't endorse the views of the hate camel. This is just pulling shit out of my ass and seeing what sticks.
That's pretty disgusting.
The amount of things that people like this deliberately overlook in order to keep their narrative alive is sickening, because you have to be in total contradiction of all sort of mental faculty in order to hold the beliefs that this person holds. And it doesn't compute. It doesn't compute that a human being can listen to their own mind, their own rationality, and say, that's wrong. That's wrong because I said so. You've got
to stop being a human being and start being a human doing. And what comes next? A human going. It's like The Simpsons.
Oh. Wow. I don't remember that bit.
I haven't seen that
being,
one.
doing, and going.
It's the guy's doing like the motivational speech, and in the end, everyone starts emulating Bart, and he's like, "Don't give a shit attitude.
Be like the boy. Be like the boy." And now the old people
be like Roy.
Be like
Roy.
I'll just go ahead and assume that none of the above will be vaccinated or wear a mask ever. There are also these types of idiots who protest against protecting their children. The board members either need to give us our freedom back or get off the board, one dad said while demanding they unmask his kid. Meanwhile, Iowa is definitely the model for why schools shouldn't be open at 100% capacity and without providing safety precautions amid a pandemic. If I had the time, I would scour the internet to collect the hundreds of Karen videos where people are pitching a fit because they're asked to wear a mask in public. We've all watched them.
When did the word Karen become the exact opposite of what it is? You are placing demands on people and people are saying no. You're the Karen. That's all there is to it.
What really gets me though is that these people all keep saying, "Oh, all these kids they've come down with it." Okay, fine. You have 9,485 cases or whatever the fuck was in that tweet that you scrolled up. And I guarantee you that of those 9,485 kids, 9,485 kids have probably recovered. So who fucking cares how many have come down with it?
Isn't this like basically harmless for kids?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, they need to stop relating cases to deaths, because cases do not equal deaths, never have. Yet they're pretending like the number of cases, we've got millions of people that are infected. Yeah, what's its recovery rate? Over 99%? Yeah. So you need to stop confusing people, stop disillusioning people into thinking that so many fucking people have died from this bullshit disease that is no worse than maybe a bad flu at its very worst, and stop saying it's such a bad thing that we need to social distance and we need to put on these stupid fucking face diapers and we need to act like complete morons because we listen to everything we hear and we do what we're told like good little cretins. Just wake the fuck up and realize what's going on. But no, I can't do that. Yeah. See, yeah, and like Faithless says, big numbers scare people. You're right, Terry. It really does. You know, they see big numbers and they're like, oh my god. And they even did a study that said how many people actually believe the amount of they found Americans that believe that 30 million people have died from this. And that's like over 2,000% more than what has really died.
They think 10% of the population have died from the virus?
Yes.
You've got to have something to work towards. You need a goal. So that they're not there yet, but you guys will get to 30 million. I'm sure of it.
Yeah. And like Dr. Kiev says, everyone that I know of who has had the virus, including Trump and Tom Hanks, has survived. I've had more than half a dozen family members of my own get sick with it, and now they've survived. So it's like, why the hell?
I personally know of one person that got the virus and passed from it, but he was in his late 70s.
Well, and the question is, did they have any other comorbidities?
He's in his 70s.
He was an old black dude. I mean, probably yes.
I know exactly one person who's even caught the disease, and that's Sam from the Minions. That's it. That's the entire.
Oh, that's right. P-Dog also had it.
Oh, did he? Okay,
right.
two.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Two
unless someone is like really old or really sickly, and I hear that they caught it, I'm just like, oh, that sucks. Well, get better soon. Like I'm not worried.
Well, my favorite is the one where this guy dies in a motorcycle crash, and all of a sudden they say that COVID killed him.
Yeah.
The anti-maskers and anti-vaxxers weren't wearing masks nor registering to get vaccinated. Why would they follow the rule now? What's changed? Absolutely nothing. Maybe I'd be more receptive to the idea if the U.S. were closer to 60% of the population fully vaccinated. Months ago, the supply couldn't keep up with demand. Biden's vaccine rollout has proven impressive, but we're fizzling at 37%.
It's not Biden's vaccine rollout, you shithead.
Nope. Biden is fully responsible for the vaccine.
Mm-hmm.
We can thank Trumpism, the spread of disinformation, Tucker Carlson, and Fox News for that.
God.
You can also thank Joe Biden and Kamala Harris because they didn't trust any vaccines that were made under Trump.
Wow.
Now we have a large vaccine supply and little demand for me to feel comfortable enough to let my guard down. And here we are, 2 presidents into a pandemic, and both chose politics over our safety. One drove us apart, and the other thinks an incentive will bring us back together. Trumpism isn't a mentality, it's an ideology, and it's here to stay.
Good.
Dun, dun, dun.
Hopefully it does stay forever.
Yeah.
Go ahead, say it.
If for any other reason than just to make this person screech out more Medium articles.
You know, I cannot believe how much faith these people are putting into an experimental drug that has not been approved by any health agency at all.
The corner does not endorse the views of Moonshock.
It most certainly fucking does if I'm here, goddammit.
No. Susan, if you're listening, we don't know what got into these crazy people. We love the vaccine. Don't take the channel away.
Well, my biggest question for this author here is the biggest question I have for this author here is when was the last time you got laid? Because you seriously sound like some fucking bitch who hasn't been laid in years, and you need to fucking relax. You really
if you
do.
get laid, you can catch the COVID.
Oh, that's right. True. I forgot. Yeah.
Not if you're both masked and doing it doggy style.
But they won't be 6 feet apart. I don't know any guy who can have sex from 6 feet away. Not even black guys.
Well, except for yourself, because you do have the Terry penis, you know. So.
Well, what about projectiles?
If you can shoot 6 fucking feet away, then goddamn, you deserve a medal, man.
Turning sex into a first-person shooter. That's the dream.
Or you could get like one of those dildo drills, like put it on like on tracks, you know, just roll it up there like a drone, like a bomb drone.
Can you see these guys holding their dicks like it's a pump shotgun?
No, it's easy. You're thinking about what you do is you get a really long straw.
No, I reckon you put a funnel in, and then makes it easier to aim.
It's like
Sure, it'll
that
take a
game.
room full of guys, but
It's like that game at the arcade where you throw a ball into the various rings.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Surely the people
D-ball.
in this chat are not so naive as to have never heard of a dildo before.
yes, they
Don't you act like you don't know what I'm talking about.
Is that exactly what it sounds like?
That's exactly what it sounds like. Yes.
Okay. Well, I've never heard of it, but I am not even remotely surprised.
See now, Terry. Now you have me with a stupid fucking mental picture of a woman that's got a funnel sticking out of her vagina, just like here, right here, shoot me here.
Yeah.
This guy like 6 feet away, it's just fucking jacking himself. He's like, I'll try.
Maybe have a pipe that leads down into the funnel, because I mean 6 feet is still a long distance, so you need something to bridge that gap.
You
I'm
rinse this
just
off.
imagining a dude like standing behind a tape line, like at a darts tournament.
What do you say, Frosted?
What?
You rinsed off this funnel after you used it for the wiper fluid, right?
Here's an idea. Okay, so get the funnel and then take a really big fan and put it right behind your junk.
Well, then it will just go into the fan and just spray everywhere.
Oh, I think that was the point.
Oh.
Well, no,
I said behind, not in front. I said in front, not behind the fan.
It's a good thing if it goes the way Frosted said, because then you can impregnate multiple women. That's the new way to have an orgy. Is just come into a fan.
Yeah,
That are just sitting there like end to end.
Yeah, it's the sperm equivalent of a lawn
dusting.
sprinkler. It's like a lawn sprinkler, and you have a bunch of women all standing on their hands with their legs open.
With the funnel.
Yeah, it's a much more efficient way to start a family.
It's the crop dusting method, folks. What you do is you get in an airplane and you stick your dick out the window.
We gotta patent this.
Oh god.
But
oh my head.
With the end of the second article comes our second game, and that is Poe or No. This is one where I took 2 headlines from Medium and made one up, and you guys have to figure out which one I made up. So, headline A: should we even trust a white supremacist system to do reparations right? Headline B: was the USSR more democratic than America? And headline C: there is no just future that includes the USA.
See.
This is a tough one. They all sound equally stupid.
And I'll start the poll so that the chat can vote on it too.
I'm going to go with C because I've read articles that sound exactly like A and B before.
Well, that's the thing, though. You can't
those
trust
articles
that
have been written before, though. I've not heard anyone make the case for no just future, including the USA.
But that's the thing, though. If they sound like articles you've written, I've read articles before that sounded like names that came up with whole cloth. So you can't go based on if the argument's been made before, because
Jack,
Frosted.
Jack, are you really white splaining me right now?
I am
There's
white
no
splaining
helping
your
some
ass.
people. I will go A, because that sounds the most like an actual Medium article, and I know how this game works.
Yeah, I'm going A too. That was my thought.
C.
All right, Camel.
I said C. That sounds like the made up one to me.
Okay, so
Wait, no one's saying B. Then I'll say B.
All right,
That
so
way,
we have
Frosted doesn't get the satisfaction of tricking all of us.
All right, so we have
Gotta cover the
A,
spread.
B, and 2 C's.
Yes.
Looks like the chat was tied between B and C, and the answer is A is fake.
Woohoo!
Oh,
Nice.
rigged.
I like how there's just a bunch of groans, and then Tara's like, "Woohoo!"
And then Jonathan Frakes appears to say, "We got you."
Yep.
Yeah, the patron saint of the corner, Jonathan Frakes.
And apparently, Check Your Logic has decided to rename you. You are now Mr. Glad instead of Mr. Glass.
Frosted Glad.
Don't get mad.
Yeah,
I was gonna say.
I'm happy to be named after trash bags. Thanks. All right, and now the third article. Why does feminism in gaming matter?
It does.
That doesn't.
Oh,
It
God.
absolutely does not.
Please tell me
in
it's
no
Anita
cons-
Sarkeesian.
In no conceivable manner does feminism matter in gaming.
Well, this is good. A feminist review of popular PS4 titles. I want to hear this.
Oh boy.
Do they still look? Do the controllers still look just like that?
No, that's a PS2 controller.
Like I
It's
said,
even wired.
That's a fucking PS2, man.
And this is why you keep feminists out of gaming.
Exactly.
She's reviewing PS4 playing on a PS2 controller. No wonder her
See, now-
gaming sucks.
Now I question if she's even played these games or if she just like looked up playthroughs online or some shit.
like
Oh,
Anita
like the full
Sarkeesian did.
Sarkeesian. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Sarkeesian.
I will go a step further. She didn't even do that. She saw the name and the box art at most.
Wow, I'm so depressed that I wouldn't be surprised.
Oh, but she calls herself a gamer girl. Bullshit.
Games are one of my favorite artistic mediums. You get to experience a world outside your own, to move, make decisions, fight for your life, and make new friends. And yet, I hesitate to call myself a gamer girl. There's a lot of
You know.
baggage with that term, and the social expectation of gaming to be a defining feature of that girl's life. Unlike a gamer boy, who is just called, well, a gamer.
Oh
Well,
God,
yeah,
is she gonna?
no, if you want to be a gamer girl, then yes, gamer does have to be part of your self-identity. Like, it has to be a significant part of your life. You can't call me, a food connoisseur because I eat. It has to be something that you're passionate about.
So why
No,
doesn't
she wants the credentials of being a gamer without actually having to game, is what she's saying.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is, yes, if you want to call yourself a girl gamer, then yes, gaming does have to be something that is significant in your life. It can't just be a hobby.
And if she doesn't like the term gamer girl, she can just call herself a gamer.
Well, and Kiev also made a good point. Female nurses are just called nurses. Male nurses are called male nurses.
Well, I think meet her halfway. Put a Y in gamer, so that way it's a bit more inclusive.
Well, I did GameXer, GAMXR.
So I
Well,
decided
you can go to all the game mixes you want after the stream. Moonshock.
So I decided to tackle this sticky issue with some of my favorite games to see how well they represent and treat women throughout the narrative.
If the issue is sticky, they were probably doing that thing we were talking about earlier.
Exactly.
Each game review will be forthcoming, starting with The Last of Us Part 2.
Oh God, that game sucked anyway.
Dear.
I'm looking forward to experiencing the new PlayStation 5 games and features like everyone else, but I'd like to take the time to look at the major PS4 exclusives we've been enjoying for a while now. PlayStation has made a name for itself in character-driven narrative games. The Last of Us, Part 1, PS3, stunned gamers with its heart-wrenching narrative, yada yada yada. What does this have to do with feminism, you ask? I'm so glad you asked. Gaming is notorious for being a boys' club. Within the games themselves, women characters have been hypersexualized, and so have
And
male
no male
characters.
characters have ever been sexualized.
Nope.
Not a single one.
Mm-mm.
Nope. No
Never
muscly
happens.
guys with their shirts off or anything like that, no.
Nope.
And underdeveloped, and that's without mentioning the shallow numbers of female characters to begin with.
I would disagree there. If they've been sexualized, they're probably not underdeveloped. They're probably quite well developed.
Zing.
From a development standpoint, few women are involved in game writing, programming, and production. Then, despite female gamers buying in similar numbers to males, men seem to dominate the gaming community, which was brought into sharp...
Citation needed.
which was brought into sharp relief in 2014 with the Gamergate incident.
Do you want to know why few women
God
are
damn, it's been
involved?
7 years? 7 years, really?
Do you want to know why few women are involved in game writing, programming, and production? Because more often than not, any games that are made by a majority of women are pretty shitty games that are not going to be very successful. This is not
Oh.
because women suck at it. It's just generally that's basically what usually happens.
Spoken like someone who never played Depression Quest. Come on. Zoe Quinn is the be all and end all when it comes to game design.
I'd rather play Don't Shoot the Puppy, Terry.
Oh, that is a good game. That is
a good
I
game.
like that game.
Don't shoot the puppy.
Not,
The
not
rules
only,
are very simple.
not only are women excluded in the gaming world, but we are harassed mercilessly for any move toward inclusion. A Washington Post article explained it well, including this quote: "The divide is, in part, demographic. It's a difference between the historical, stereotypical gamer, young, nerdy white guy who likes guns and boobs, and the much broader, more diverse range of people who play now." Caitlin Dewey for the Washington Post.
No, that is completely fucking wrong. Nobody likes these diverse games. Nobody. Nobody plays these diverse games. Nobody. You want to know why? Young, nerdy white guy who likes guns and boobs? I don't even know why I even have to say this.
Did
This
they have to
woman
drill
is so-
down to nerdy and white? I mean, just young guys like guns and boobs. They are historically the stereotypical video gamer. It doesn't have to be white or
I'm not
nerdy.
even young anymore, and I still like boobs.
Exactly. And this woman, what is stopping her from going and making her own game? I see nobody holding her fucking back. I see nobody locking her up in a room and saying, "No, you can't do that." Go find.
Well,
Go
why-
make your own game
why-
and see who plays it.
Well, why do something when you can complain about other people not doing the thing you want them to do?
No. But I have a question. If she's Asian, then maybe the reason that she can't do it is she is locked in Jack Cochran's sex dungeon,
I mean, that's
and
true.
she's not allowed out.
If she was locked in Jack Cochran's sex dungeon, why would we be able to listen to her writing this shitty article?
No, maybe it turns Jack on to know that people are suffering at the hands of his victim. Love interest.
So
He's
is
a-
the opposite.
if-
of
He's a
ahead.
vicarious sadist.
Yes.
is the turning of is the opposite of turning Jack on, turning Jack off.
There you go.
See, Terry, if I were Jack, I would be defending the subterranean loved in right now.
Well, I mean, it's all part of your cover. You can't be so obvious about it if you don't want to give the game away.
Basically, traditional gamers feel threatened by the changing gaming landscape, as though their masculine shoot-'em-ups are going anywhere anytime soon. But the thing is, gaming is not exclusive to this definition of gamer. Nearly half of gamers are women, and in 2014, the same year as Gamergate, a study found that there were more women gamers than men.
Yeah. Do you want to
So
know why?
Candy
hang on.
Crush.
So,
Yeah.
In the same article, they complained that women weren't represented in gaming, and
Yeah.
here they're claiming that there's more women than men.
Yes,
It-
but
it-
what you're not seeing is the fact that these so-called games were apps on phones. These aren't
Of
your
course
shoot 'em
they-
up games. These aren't the kind of games that men would traditionally flock to.
It
No,
wasn't
no.
even. It wasn't even your boy Raid Shadow Legends. It was like Candy
Hid-
Crush and Angry Birds.
Hidden object games are still games, and women play them and they like them. So there's more girl gamers in gaming, despite the fact that they're underrepresented somehow.
Yeah.
Like,
mean-
if this community is so hostile towards them, how are they more than half of the gamer population? Like, doesn't this mean that you've reached your goal? There's equity.
Stop.
You have
No,
the
no,
right
no.
amount of
No,
representation.
She's exceeded her goal because there's more women.
No,
More
no,
of it-
she hasn't met her goal yet because her goal is 100% female gaming. Men must never game ever again.
Oh, and here we go. If the number of women gamers is a surprise to you, thank the patriarchy.
You're welcome.
Because the gaming industry has been afraid to upset its longtime target audience. Ignoring sheer numbers and common sense, the gaming industry, even in 2021, shuns its female audience.
Well, obviously, if you have a target audience, you don't want to piss them off. That's kind of the point. You know who your audience is, and you focus on them because they're the ones who actually give you money.
Also, that target audience, like they give you not just money, but more money because they're buying consoles and computers and games, whereas you're buying an app on your phone.
Yeah,
Hey, that's a whole dollar.
I
goes
mean,
to-
$500 plus a game at like $60 a pop compared to what, a 99-cent download. Really?
Yeah.
yeah.
Hey,
Who
every
do
dollar
you think they're gonna
counts.
go after more?
Every dollar counts.
Just tell me. I want this author to tell me. Do you really think that
She
clicking
doesn't.
on little bubbles on your phone for a few minutes while you're bored makes you a gamer?
Yes.
Do you really think that?
Yes, she
Yes.
does.
Obviously,
Yeah.
she does.
That's absolutely absurd.
I mean, Candy
Well,
Crush
just
is
because
like
you're game phobic.
Candy Crush is like the Dark Souls of phone games. All right.
Well, I mean, it is. It's very hard. It's very difficult to win without spending a lot of money on extra turns and stuff
I
like
mean,
that.
I'll agree with that comparison just because I haven't played either one of them, so they are
There
alike
you
in
go.
that one respect.
I can't speak for many older games, but I do feel that the depiction of female characters has improved slowly but surely. We used to only be damsels in distress. Now we have many female heroes who don't need no man to help them save
That's
the world.
And those are
Not
the same
true
games
at all.
Those are also the same games that never sell. So there you go.
No.
the-
But what about Metroid? That's
yeah,
an old game.
Metroid.
Metroid.
Metroid is one of the most beloved games that's ever been made ever, and it stars a woman.
Mrs.
And she is
Pac-Man.
not, and she originally isn't even depicted in a sexual manner. She's in
No.
a huge, which I know that people like this hate because they hate the possibility that a woman might be attractive.
Oh, yeah.
She's depicted in full armor getup and everything.
And
But
she
you know
kicks
what-
ass.
No, do you know what the counter argument to that will be? If you win Metroid fast enough, she takes the armor off and she's in a bikini.
Yes.
Oh, how dare there be a single frame of in a video game that
But-
Jesus.
No, but besides that, they will point to things like the armor that you're using as a defense. Will say, well, obviously they knew they couldn't have a female protagonist and have it be known that it was female. Otherwise, pro gamers wouldn't buy it. Like they'll took the fact that she's completely covered up as more proof that women are not welcome. Like
That's
why
why
was it a secret?
That's why no one bought any of the later Metroid games.
Exactly.
Everything is proof. Everything is proof to the narrative that they're spinning.
Yeah.
And it's every counter argument, is that it's just further proof. It's sort of like it's that Kafka-esque thing. Denial is just evidence of your guilt. That's all it ever is.
That's how I proved that Ibram X. Kendi is a murderer. He was saying that denial is proof of guilt. And I said, that being the case, have you murdered anyone today? And he blocked me, which means he didn't deny it. I think he's guilty.
Ah.
Gonna skip ahead a little.
Yeah.
What am I doing these reviews for? Just as I did for the Marvel
Attention.
Just as I did for the Marvel Cinematic Universe, I want to take a look at a pop culture cornerstone. These games have a wide audience, no matter what game marketers think, and therefore have an impact on our culture. When we see feminist values represented in media, we are more likely to see that translated in real life. It's the gamer boy's greatest fear. Feminist gaming will turn the world into feminists.
No, it won't.
I think that I think that's putting
I'm a
way
true-
too much faith in video games as a medium.
I'm a true feminist. I played a game with an almost entirely female cast, Dead or Alive Beach Volleyball.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
Well, don't
Popular
forget
cul-
about Super Seducer. That one's got mostly women in it too.
Yeah.
Very true.
And it had Mahmoud, so it's racially diverse.
Yes. And an Asian guy. His name is Michael. Yeah, very, very diverse game.
Popular culture not only influences future norms, but also reflects current norms. Obviously, gaming is behind in representing the change we've made in everyday life. Gay pride is widely accepted, but how many gay video game heroes do we have?
Nobody cares.
Why does there need to be representation for every fucking demographic in history?
Exactly.
It's so absolutely. Why does a person need to see someone who is identical to them?
Well,
in
before
their
we
media?
get to that, Jack, before we get to that question, we have to ask how many gay video game developers and writers and whatnot are there to make those games? Because you don't want straight, people doing it, right?
Mm.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
you
how
gotta,
many
you
people
gotta
work
get
at
more gay
BioWare?
representation in the video game making process before you can get gay video game heroes,
Yes,
right?
and just as
everyone who works at BioWare is probably gay.
well, I was just also going to say, just as straight people are no longer allowed to play gay characters, if we're going to have a gay character in video game, the entire fucking company better be gay.
Oh yeah, and BioWare is. I'm sure of it.
But progress is progress, and it needs to be acknowledged and celebrated so that we can continue to recognize and improve on feminist themes and storytelling.
No, you don't. Please
How
don't.
No. It says right there in the article. It must be true.
Oh, of course.
How do I know if a game is feminist?
It does a lot of nagging.
It doesn't fucking sell.
I've studied culture and communication in college, as well as educating myself heavily in feminism. I am not an expert in feminist theory, but I do know how media codes sexism. There are several
Which
things.
culture do they study in college?
No shit.
A
Was this
useless one.
Yeah, how many gender studies courses did you take?
But I think looking at these questions, I bet Dead or Alive Extreme 2 is actually going to tick off most of them.
There are several things I'm going to look for in this series. 1. Does it have female characters? Not
Yes,
just
it
one.
does.
Not just one, but several. Preferably
Yes.
with a personality and backstory.
It
Bonus
does.
points.
Those
bonus
characters
points,
have great personality in DOA.
Bonus points if you get to play as a female character.
You can only play as a female character.
You're batting 1,000 so far, Terry.
Yeah.
2. Are the female characters in control of their destiny?
Yes,
they-
they are the playable character.
Are they helpless maids? Are they a plot device for a male character story? Or are they their own agent?
2 for 2. Let's keep it going.
Are the characters diverse?
Yes,
Feminism
there's a
means,
black chick.
Feminism means inclusivity, and that doesn't stop at the character's sex. I'm looking for diverse culture, race, capabilities, age, or other underrepresented demographics.
Are there any
Straight out
chicks
of
in a
it.
wheelchair in DOA, Terry?
No, but I'm sure one of them is probably retarded.
Are the characters human? Masculine gaming tends to leave emotions out of the mix, making the character a soulless soldier. Toxic masculinity tells men to bury their emotions. In contrast, acknowledging the character's complicated human feelings is a feminist attribute.
What?
Huh?
It tells men to bury their. I always love this weird conflation that a man who doesn't constantly cry all the fucking time somehow isn't capable of having emotions.
I just love how it's always a woman telling other women that men tell other men to bury their emotions.
Yeah.
Now, if you don't express your emotions like a woman, you're doing it wrong.
Yeah.
Guess what? I don't need to cry to be sad. I can be sad and not even display it at all.
Well, that's because you're toxically male.
Because I'm not a narcissist who needs attention.
Well,
I mean, in this particular case. Touché, Terry.
Is violence justified in order to tell the story?
there is no violence in the game.
By extension of the last point, acknowledging human feelings is acknowledging all the characters' humanity. If toxic masculinity rejects empathy, then valuing on-screen lives is a feminist quality.
So I suppose technically I can't claim this one. There is no violence, so there is no violence to be justified. So I'm on 4 out of 5.
And finally, lady villains. I love a good female villain, but even better, henchwomen. The patriarchy loves to see women as something to protect. That's why the damsel in distress trope is so popular. We treat
Yeah.
women like they are something delicate and special, but not always as someone who can think and make decisions for themselves. Disposable women villains are my favorite feminist quality in video games because it shows that women don't have to be saved, gentle, or morally inclined. They don't always have to be on the right side of things. A nonchalant henchwoman death is my personal holy grail of feminism.
Okay, so I can't claim that one because the closest thing to a villain in the game is in fact a man. So 4 out of 6, 2/3.
I would love to see how this person feels about Resident Evil 8 and giant vampire mommy milkers.
Yeah.
What is it about progressives and identifying with evil things? Why is it that all these progressive people love evil things to death?
Well, evil is just cool. I mean, I like evil things too.
Because they have daddy issues and have to rebel. So I'll start this series with the most controversial and cinematic of the bunch, The Last of Us Part 2.
I forgot that there was actually going to be reviews in this article.
Nah, it's not in this
Yeah,
article.
I
think
thought
this
they
is,
were.
saying that
I-
she's going to in the future.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I thought
This is
she
a,
was
this is a
going to.
preamble. This is a fucking preamble.
I
Really?
thought she was going to review video games and not movies.
She doesn't even have the right controller.
I know. I mean,
Yes.
I think the PlayStation 2 was the best PlayStation, but
There's
that's
no
next year.
actual video game review in this.
No, there's not.
No.
I'm seeing a Sarkeesian twin.
The only PlayStation I ever owned was a PS1.
I went through 1, 2, and 3, and that's the last I did any console gaming was on a PlayStation 3.
No, PlayStation 2 was where it was at.
Oh yeah, man.
I did play the PS3 a little bit, but I never really got into it the same way that I did with the PS2.
Nah,
My
I'm an
PS2 was the
Xbox guy.
sturdiest of the lot as well. That thing lasted me almost a full decade before it finally crapped out.
Yeah, no, they built them a lot better back then. Like,
Oh yeah.
anything made by Nintendo back then probably still works.
But here's what I think is really the whole feminist gaming shit. I've known dudes and chicks that played video games my whole life, right? I mean, had a just about everyone had Super Nintendo when I was a kid growing up.
As they should.
And you had Super Mario and Street Fighter and all these other games to play. And it was a pretty good split for the most part. I mean, maybe not entirely 50-50 boys and girls. But I knew girls growing up that played, Diablo and Dark Souls and Warcraft and other shit, some serious, gaming. They sunk hours and hours into stuff like that. And even they wouldn't call themselves gamers. And neither were the guys that I knew growing up either. It wasn't until, social media and the online age that people really started identifying as gamers. It was just people who played video games when I was a kid.
Yeah, I mean,
So all
to
this,
me,
identifying as a gamer, whether it doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman, it's fucking lame.
yeah,
Unless
to me,
you're getting paid to play video games, don't call yourself a gamer.
yeah,
So you like playing them.
yeah. To me, it's like saying that I identify as a movie watcher. Like, how much movies do you watch? One every now and then. No, it's like unless it's like your entire life, like your career. No, don't identify by one hobby that you have.
Now, I mean, if like Roger Ebert wanted to identify as a movie watcher, all right, fine, fuck it.
Yeah.
But I mean, wait, he's dead, isn't he?
Yeah,
See,
he
I'm,
is.
I'm dating myself a little bit on
He
that
doesn't
one.
identify as much of anything right now. All right. Well, now it's time for our last game. And we're going to change things up a little this week. We're doing Poe or No again, but Gender Edition.
Okay.
After last week's article, I perused the Gender Wiki website a bit
Oh,
And-
I like this.
and wrote down some of my favorites.
Oh
So,
dear.
going by the same rules, I'm going to give you 2 real genders and one that I made up.
Well, okay, so the two real ones are male and female, so this will be really easy.
No, the website specifically said that they're all real,
Okay.
and I'll even give you a short description of each gender.
Oh, perfect.
So, gender 1, Lego gender. When you identify as one who can take apart themselves and put themselves back together into different sexualities and genders whenever they want to.
God.
Gender B, Rubik's gender. When all the various aspects that make up your gender feel disorganized and require introspection to be made into a clear picture. And gender 3, Tetris gender. Where you build up your gender identity over time, but once you feel like you've completed your gender identity, it disappears.
Oh wow, this is tough. I'm
And
gonna go.
I'm gonna
I'm gonna go
open the
Tetris gender.
open the poll to the chat.
I hate this. I hate
I
this
love it.
game.
I love it.
Lego.
It's
This is the best thing
genius,
I've
and I
ever
hate it.
Yes, I'm gonna go A. I'm going to A with Lego gender.
I'm going C.
All right.
I'll go B because what the hell? It's a crapshoot anyway.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with B as well because let's face it, somebody who's willing to come up with this kind of bullshit probably never even seen a Rubik's cube.
But I
Good
must
point.
ask Frosted, aren't they all real?
Well,
Aren't they
one of them
all
isn't.
equally valid?
One of them isn't,
They're all equally valid. That's right. And
except for
actually,
one.
I did see a post in the comments on one of the pages on the website. Just removed 3 illegitimate genders, which made the transgender community look like a joke and were kind of disrespectful. Please only add real genders. All right, and looks like the chat was tied on B and C, and the answer is B is fake.
Oh.
Yay!
I kind of figured that. I thought it was going to be a toss between B and C, but then I remembered, Tetris was made in the Soviet Union, so any good commie would make a gender based on that.
Fair point.
Yeah, and
See, I went C because I didn't believe that their gender would ever disappear. Like I thought, no, they're going to cling too tightly to it to ever let it disappear.
and
Well, they've got to figure out some way to describe, when you get tired of a fad, Terry. Oh, it just disappeared.
It makes sense that Rubik's would be the fake one because no wait, that doesn't work because that's rubrics I'm thinking of because rubrics have defined qualities about them.
And the sad part is I was going to put as the fake one Lego gender, but then I looked it up and saw that it's real.
Yeah.
That's how much Poe's law affects this.
I love this game. This is the best game I've ever played.
Well, I mean, to channel Monkey since he's live now, I hope anybody who identifies as Lego gender spends the rest of their life stepping on Legos.
No, I want them to step on themselves.
I hope that whoever identifies as Lego gender just gets it over with and sticks a bionicle up their cooch. Just saying.
How about a frosted gender or a moon gender?
I wouldn't be surprised. All right, and now on to our last article.
Corner gender.
If you don't break white supremacy's tools, they'll just build back better. Understanding the racist language of civilized white supremacists. And this is by our old pal Marley K.
Are we going to do the race swapping?
You bet we are.
Oh shit! No.
Oh, this there's a part in this article where it has the best race swap part I have seen yet. All right. First 2 paragraphs, she just talks about how the American Rescue Plan isn't good enough. We weren't rescued by the American Rescue Plan. We were sloganed. Jewish supremacy's favorite tool is language, using words and changing the meaning, getting you to go along with one thing when they really mean something completely different. The federal government did what it does best, create a cute slogan and plan to put band-aids on our cancers, especially after hurting already disenfranchised black and minority communities.
That
Simply-
is appropriating our culture. Cancer is our thing. It's like the whole focus of the stream.
Yes,
I
I
don't-
know. Trust me.
I don't know, I kind of think that this author owns cancer.
He owns it. It's got a permit. It's got an ID badge.
Simply put, the plan is not enough. The American Rescue Plan has turned out to be the equivalent of having 1 square of toilet paper to handle 4 centuries of explosive diarrhea episodes.
Oh my god, what an analogy.
That 1 square of toilet paper just ain't enough to clean up all the shit Jews have left for the rest of us to clean up.
Oh Jesus.
More importantly, the Build Back Better plan doesn't have one damn it thing in it to address Jewish supremacy. Jewish supremacy got us into this mess, so how do you create a plan to make us better without fixing the thing that made us fall apart?
One
racist-
damn it thing, huh?
Racist Jews making bad decisions and rich, greedy Jews making neoliberal decisions got us into this mess. Corporations helped to fund it all. Politicians made it all possible. Why don't we have a solution for any of this? We need an American Jewish supremacy plan. But like Jews always do when it comes to tackling matters of racism, inequity, and Jewish supremacy, Biden sidestepped, deflected, ignored, and minimized the impact of Jewish supremacy in the nation. He acts like addressing is Jews' kryptonite. How does one look away from people being harmed by racist government officials at all levels and don't provide a solution for it? Especially because the people being targeted most are the ones who made your presidency possible in the first place. One looks away because they are racist, unaffected, and complicit. That's how. Biden knows that what it will take to really fix America, but he's unwilling to do any of these things because all he cares about are Jews' anxieties. Alright, and this next part, except for changing white to Jew, I am reading it as written. Let's see. Making this shithole country better is going to take punishing Jews, imprisoning Jews, atoning for the nation's racist sins, practicing justice in a way that's never been done before, and taking away power, money, reparations for African Americans, and resources from Jews and non-Jews in power practicing white supremacy.
Wow. This author's a fucking idiot.
Oh no, she's genius.
Well, yeah, now that we've changed around the words, yes.
None of those
So,
things.
I mean, with the non-whites in power practicing white supremacy, would that also count the Obamas as well?
Yes.
Are they going to lose all their Netflix money because of this plan?
Hopefully.
Well, they weren't real blacks, you know. They're internalized white or something.
But I thought it was against wokeness to call something a shithole country. Remember? There was a whole big thing about that.
Oh, I mean, as long as it's not in the first world, you're not supposed to, but...
Okay.
None of those things in Biden's plan. Instead, Biden has chosen to focus elsewhere, using the same old Jewish rule patchwork strategies and colonizing efforts to stabilize this failing state for Jews. He doesn't care at all about black people. Biden won't touch racism or Jewish supremacy with a 10-foot pole. That's how you know he is not serious or vested in making America better. He's only concerned with keeping America Jewish, using the tools they always used to do so. Biden can't build America back better until he does something about Jews and Jewish supremacy. Most Jews don't even understand how racism and Jewish supremacy work. If that's what led to our national woes, then you must address the things that led to the woes. Those tools of Jewish supremacy remain in place. America can't build back better until America deals with inequity. Nothing in any of Biden's plans addresses inequity, and inequity that has been on full display throughout the pandemic. Inequity has existed since the Emancipation Proclamation. The trail of destruction from our racial caste system is out in the open. Only racists are still denying them. If you don't address inequity, America will never be, let alone be, better.
Mhm.
America will never be, let alone be better.
I don't know. It
Grammar's
sounded
white
good when she
supremacy.
wrote it. It sounded good in her head.
Mm-hmm. Once it dribbles on paper, it's like, what have I done? What have I done? I can tell you what you've done. Fucking nothing.
Oh God, this is a long fucking screed.
Oh god,
Yeah.
no.
Does this
That is a long
person
article.
does this person write like L. Ron Hubbard? What the hell?
L. Ron Hubbard, I think, had more of a point.
Yeah, he also got paid by the word too.
I was going to say, I think in both cases they're sort of motivated by money. It's like that's the thing that they've got in common. Is like it's paid by the word.
All right, gonna skip to the last part. We all know the oppressor will never give those enslaved the tools to free themselves.
Well, that's just common sense. I mean, why would you?
I mean, what are they gonna do? Fight a civil war over it? Come on. In true fashion, Biden's plan does nothing to provide reparations or African American descendants of slaves. The plan does not address.
No, in true fashion, Biden's plan does nothing to provide reparations or African American descent. So it doesn't provide any slaves.
I mean, yeah, that is a problem with the plan.
I will be in favor of giving American descendants of slavery reparations, but only if that includes a one-way ticket to Liberia and loss of citizenship.
Yeah.
Oh, Terry's out of here.
The plan does not address our autonomy. His plan has nothing in the way of restorative justice. The plan
Good.
does nothing to stop another coup d'etat. The plan doesn't protect African Americans from racist militias, church burnings, police brutality, and extrajudicial police killings, racial discrimination, address anti-blackness, or make the playing field level finally for African Americans. This raggedy... What'd you call
Make
it?
the playing field level. It's mostly African Americans on the playing field. What are they talking about?
Yeah, and you know how like church burnings are still legal and all that. You know,
I think that we need more black people in the NBA.
that's right.
That's a bold stance. That's a bold stance.
This raggedy failing the degenerate nation. Okay,
I'm telling you, man, L. Ron Hubbard didn't edit either.
won't
was a
even offer
loony.
an overdue official national apology for the enslavement of African Americans. That's how we're repaid for saving this country from an early collapse. Black voters, I hope you're paying attention. Build Back Better is a bunch of bullshit, just like Melania Trump's Be Best campaign was. White Jews love creating catchy slogans for problems without actually getting to the root of the problems. It's performative, and Jews love to perform. Build Back Better is the same thing.
Jews love to perform, and then you see like, if I were a rich man, yeah,
Build Back Better is the same thing as Make America Great Again, except the liberal tyrant doesn't say the old racist stuff like the conservative tyrant did.
If you don't vote for me, you ain't black.
Nope, never said anything racist. The liberal
Blacks and
tyrant...
Hispanics can't figure out the internet.
Well, the
Blacks
kids
are more
are
of a
just-
monolithic hive mind than Hispanics. These were all said by Trump, don't you remember?
poor kids are just as bright and just as smart as white kids.
Another Trumpism. Or did you forget?
The liberal tyrant uses coded language and microaggressions, such as ignoring our suffering, refusing to acknowledge us, and making us wait for help and protection. It's the microaggressions for me. We won't be able to end white supremacy or stop our oppression with anything in that plan, and that's the plan. The tools of Jewish supremacy can never be used to free the oppressed.
Can
Building
I
back.
give this woman can I give her a macro aggression right to the face?
No. You will respect her. She is woman. Hear her role.
Oh
No,
my
do
god.
it into a fan first.
Yes.
I was just wondering how long Frosted was going to forget about the Jews, and thanks to this break, it was only the once.
Let's see. I lost my
I
place.
think we're on.
The
Like
tools of
on
white supremacy can never
yeah.
be used to free the oppressed.
Yes.
Building back better without making Black lives better by is essentially saying my people should be content with the discomfort of our oppression as we endure casual and overt microaggressions, inequity, and
What are you even
disenfranchisement.
saying?
I am
What
telling
are
you,
you
this
even
person is
saying?
one tax bill away from starting their own religion.
What are they even saying? I lost track like 3 paragraphs ago. What are they even saying?
They threw buzzwords into a blender.
And white people are bad.
We are the third world country we judge. As long as you remain asleep at the wheel, maintain low expectations, and sit silently, Jewish supremacists think you're either okay with them or weak. And as long as you remain ignorant and complacent, they'll keep shooting the shit at you, leaving you with that one square of toilet paper to clean shit up.
She loves that analogy.
Yeah.
Raise your expectations, fight the power, and create your own tools to free yourselves from oppression. No government has ever freed the people. The people free themselves. This person never heard of the Civil War, I guess. Build your own tools, empower yourselves, and fight your own battles. Stop waiting for politicians to save you. They ain't never saved anyone but themselves and the ruling class. And anyone who tried to do anything other than protect their nation's ruling class is dead or has been run out of power.
Kind of like Trump.
No, he was racist, remember?
He was very.
Oh, I keep forgetting.
But building your own tools to fight and empowering yourselves simply isn't enough. We must also break Jewish supremacy's tools because when we do not, Jewish supremacists and the teams of groupies in love with the power, perks, and thrills that come with being at the top of the social hierarchy simply rebuild their racist empires back better than before. Our goal is to break their tools, and when we cannot break their tools, we must thwart their plans, making it harder for them to rise again. It's time we take away those tools, so they can't ever build back better again. The end.
Thank you for
Oh,
that
that was awesome.
mind-numbing article.
I put it in chat, but just for the malevolent writer, if you are half black, half white, the way it works is if you agree with their bullshit, you're black. If you disagree, then you're a racist white devil.
It's all very simple. Just insert an L. Build black better. There you go.
Well, that's the stream title.
It's like that's why I'm using that analogy. It's very simple. Build black better. Done. Problem solved. Because they're being built substandard, so we need to build black better.
Mm.
And I love how she blames the entire pandemic on white people.
Of course, because
well, I would say one thing to Moonshock though, with all this build black better, don't forget the benefits of being a fat ugly nigger.
And with that,
well, I can't think of a better note to end the show on. So. Because that's our last article. So I'm going to thank my co-host, Jack Gunsky, who has Quippers United on Sundays at 7 p.m. EST. Moonshock, who has his Twitch channel where he plays games that aren't as good as Super Seducer, linked in the description. Terry Diamantis, who is on every stream known to man, including Johnny Hellcats, Quippers United, Della Hayes Nights on Minions, and Six's Sober streams.
Yeah.
And Camel, anything you'd like to show?
If you're not already, go subscribe to Johnny Hellcat. If I'm going to do anything, it's going to be over there.
All right.
Cool.
Okay, and we should be back next week on the same time. So we'll see all you guys next week.
Bye, everyone.
See ya.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.